Hello, my name is Ralf Friedrichs. I'm an addiction recovery coach and the host of the Take Your Life Back Today show. As an addiction recovery coach, I want to share something with you. Let me be crystal clear to leave an everlasting impact upon you. Just imagine being buried alive. You're in a coffin, but you know you're not dead. You don't know how to get out of that coffin. You think maybe you lift the lid and open it up, but the enormous weight upon the lid prevents you from doing that. You try banging on the lid, thinking that maybe it'll unsettle the dirt and somebody might notice and come down to help you. This is what it's like to find yourself at the lowest point of alcohol and drug addiction. You know you need help. You know you can't do it on your own. You don't know where to turn. You just think you're going to die. Usually, though, people don't think about death when they're habitually abusing drugs and alcohol. In order to defeat an addiction, you have to be great at repressing the fear of death. I often ask you, my audience, did it ever cross your mind that while you were abusing drugs and alcohol, that maybe, just maybe, you might overdose and take something away that God had given you called life? And if that's not selfish enough, more selfishly is to take your life away from the people that love and need you most. People like your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, husband, or wife. Even your children and your grandchildren. With this, let me leave one last thought. Don't be like the person I just read about, these index cards that waited and waited until it was too late. Instead, pick up the phone and call me at 844-405-HELP. I promise you, I will help you take your life back. For your life is gone. People like Larry Geis from the Geis Academy at 516-458-2741. Larry Geis and I promise folks like you. Doesn't matter where you've been, it doesn't matter where you came from. What matters is that you're here today for a better today and a brighter tomorrow. Larry Geis will help you from your depression to happier times, low self-esteem to raising the self-esteem, from addiction to recovery. He has over 30 years experience, folks. Call Larry at 516-458-2741 or go to www.odysseyconsult.org. Larry Geis from the Geis Academy, 516-458-2741. Folks, don't forget, when you take your slippers off at night, leave them by the edge of your don't leave them by the edge of your bed. Put them under your bed, arm's length under your bed. In the morning, you'll wake up, drop to your knees to go and get those slippers, because you don't want to walk on the cold floor. While you're on your knees, ask God to guide and direct you throughout the day and the week. Ask God for forgiveness and mercy. Thank God for having a home, clothing, food. Thank God for having a husband, a wife, children, grandchildren. Do this each and every day when you retrieve your slippers. From your lips to God's ears, every day should be spent with God in the morning, maybe the afternoon or at night, but I do it in the morning because I use the slippers as a reminder to do it each and every day. And you'll notice when you start doing it, your life will start changing, but it's up to you to make those changes. Spend personal time with God each and every day, 24/7, and walk with God. Put on those slippers each and every day. Retrieve those slippers in the morning and use that particular time to speak to God. Today we're going to talk about the 4 pillars of happiness. Now, when I talk about pillars, if you ever look at, let's say, a canopy, it has 4 legs to keep the top on. If you look at the Supreme Court, it has pillars to keep the foundation, to keep the roof on. Well, even happiness requires 4 pillars. Everyone talks about happiness, and everyone has their own ideas about what will bring us more of it. I think that there are 4 pillars that together can create significantly more happiness for ourselves as well as for those who are around us. I call these principles the 4 pillars of happiness, and they are really quite simple. They all involve in being open in some way, open to truth, to love, to ourselves, and to others. Pillar number 1, folks, open heart. In order to be happy, we must have an open heart. We need to love and accept ourselves just the way we are. And we need to give love to those around us and let in love from others as well. Self-love and self-compassion create inner peace, which directly lead to happiness. Having an open heart makes us feel attachments that exist between all living beings. It gives us a deep sense of belonging. Instead of the pain of alienation, we feel the comfort and the reassurance of connection. Pillar number 2, open mind. For true happiness, we need to let go of our unnecessary mental baggage, including hurtful prejudices, false beliefs, incorrect attitudes, inappropriate expectations, and unrealistic fears. If you want to be happy, we need mental flexibility, the capacity to learn, change our minds, and to see things from a different perspective is the most helpful way of seeking happiness. Mental rigidity creates suffering, but an open mind allows us to truly be in the flow, to accept what comes our way. Pillar number 3, open eyes. We need to face the truth about our past and also see what's in front of us right now. We must let go of our counterproductive habits of denial, rewriting history, and wishful thinking, and instead be fully present and engaged in our lives here, now, today. Being able to face the truth of our past and present enables us to live our lives to the fullest. Instead of creating an unhappy future based on hopeful fantasies, habitual thinking, patterns of avoidance, we can create a happier life based on realistic, meaningful choices. Pillar number 4, open arms. Open arms is a really important one. Selfishness has become far too popular these days, and it's a big reason why we are unhappy and feel so much emptiness inside, and very frustrated. For a lot of us, the answer to happiness isn't the accumulating more money or stuff, nor in becoming more famous or exerting more influence, because if you look into Hollywood and politicians who have all that money and fame, most of them aren't even really happy. The answer to happiness is in sharing what we do have with others, recognizing the truth of our independence, and being generous and with our fellow human beings on a daily basis, not just when it's convenient for us. Studies have shown that we experience much more happiness from giving to others than from taking from others. When we open up our arms, it satisfies one of our deepest needs, the need to give to ourselves. Aside from being good for others, being generous feeds our soul and inspires those around us to be more giving. In that way, it creates happiness for everyone around. Try practicing these 4 pillars of happiness. I guarantee you, my friend, that your life will dramatically change for the better. And at the same time, you'll be able to make others happy as well. Remember, the 4 pillars of happiness are the 4 legs of a table, let's say, to keep the top up, of the Supreme Court to keep the roof on, and even simple when you go camping to keep the canopy up. To keep your happiness up, you need all 4 pillars. And it all starts at home, my friends. Teach the 4 pillars of happiness to your children and your grandchildren. And the best tool of teaching is by leading by example. Show your children how to have love and compassion and respect for others by you doing it. Teach your children to be against drugs and alcohol by you showing that you don't do it. Teach your children not to use profanity by you showing that you don't do it. It all starts at home. You are a role model. You're a hero in the eyes of your children and your grandchildren. Let today be the first day that you start a fresh start in a new life of happiness. Create the 4 pillars of happiness and support those pillars with true values, compassion, love, and respect. Let it all happen today in your home. And remember, I haven't said this in a while, a sober today promises a better tomorrow. Let true happiness start today. Lead by example. Be the role model that God designated you to be. And may God bless you.